And we are
Hello,
live.
everyone, and welcome to the UBports Community Q&A and update here on Saturday, July 10th, 2017. With me this week are Flo, Jan,
who is muted. Hi.
who is muted,
I'm muted, I didn't say something. Hello, everyone.
and we have Marius with us again.
Hello.
Great.
Again? What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing?
It sounded a
Don't worry
little
about
more
it.
negative than it was supposed to be, but okay.
Like, oh, he's here again. Damn it.
Oh, not Marius again.
Oh, no, not him.
That guy.
So,
Continue, Dalton.
personally, what have you been up to this week, Jan?
I've had a little fun learning QML and developing apps on Ubuntu Touch. I gotta say it's a nightmare, but I actually managed to ship something, and I also started working on a little UBports app. It's just a little information about the project that's supposed to be pre-installed by now, and some important links. We will probably be making it bigger in the future and add a scope and maybe even notifications to it. But yeah, the basics are now out there, and you can download it from the Open Store.
I will have to get that today. Flo, what have you been up to?
Well, there's still pretty much going on. Nearly every other day or so, there are some interesting news. If people follow our supergroup, of course, you get it from the, let's say, first moment what's going on. But also, if you follow on the forums or on our Q&A, I think the impression is that we are really still having a lot of activities. For some reason, I'm still focusing on the app corner here. What was not necessarily the thing that I wanted to do from the beginning, but it's okay. First of all, there was a meeting with some developers about setting the guidelines for the app future, and we had a quite long talk. It was a little bit messy in parts because there is a lot of interest, and we switched between multiple conference systems again, and in fact ended up in Telegram. There is a huge minutes of meeting, let's say, which is on the UBports forum that Dalton put there. It's called June 1 App Developer OS Developer Meeting, and I will maybe talk a little bit later about the most important points from that list. Furthermore, we managed now to talk with Dan and some other people about how we deal with notifications, because notifications is still, we get a lot of questions. Maybe not so much in the last week, because people have now finally accepted that notifications will be a little bit of a problem. But for some apps, like for Deco, we want to go now that way that Deco gets a possibility to check the email accounts in the background from time to time and to deliver local notifications. So there is an idea how we can deliver local notifications without much, let's say, programming that adds up or piles up now in the background. It will be quite an easy solution. Namely, there is the account poll daemon, which is already now on the phones, and it will get some nice little updates. And it's now as a pluggable module architecture, and it will be possible to plug in some code that will in turn talk with apps, some so-called headless apps. They don't have any GUI, or they are part of the normal app with the user interface. And this headless process or headless app part will then be able to do something in the background. With limited time, with limited resources, let's say. So this is for the local notifications for apps that can use that. This will be a great thing. For remote notifications, we are still on, let's say, the first style of this game, because it always ends up with the question, can we establish something that makes, for example, Telegram notifications possible or not? Maybe it's also possible with the local approach, we will see. but we will focus first on the more easy apps like email applications, maybe Twitter, maybe something with RSS feeds or whatsoever. So let's try it first with Deco. If it's successful, then we will make some description how app developers can utilize these plugins for local notifications. Yeah. This is one of the bigger news. That's why I'm taking a few minutes now to explain. But on other news, more or less, the app thing is going quite well. We getting some maintainers for apps now. People asking how they can help for maintenance of the core apps. There is also now some activity in GitHub, and there were a lot of tickets for bugs in core apps that we even didn't know about. For example, there's a really nice one. If you go to the messaging app and you press on the search button and then you enter some text, the display will completely get garbage, or it will get scrambled. And I never pushed on this button before. You can try, but it's a very interesting bug. So I would like to encourage everyone to also test the current state of the core apps to find even more of these bugs that we can then use in our maintenance to improve. And of course, we are looking still for core maintainers for apps. There was also the question how you can actually be a maintainer and what's necessary. Maybe we'll also put a few guidelines in a forum post. So that's a little bit lengthy. Should we make a break now and talk later about the about the
That was more than I bargained for.
Okay. Okay. So that just for this part. Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Thank you, Flo. And so we have some pretty big news this week. We've been working on our 1504 images, and we will explain the channels a little bit better in a little bit. But we are getting the first OTA 1 stable release moved into RC and very soon stable. So, Marius, would you like to talk a little bit more about what's going on here?
Yes. I would say the last week had been really busy with fixing as much bug as we can, especially for the 1+1 device, since it hasn't been in the best state. Now it works really, really well. And all the other devices have also been stabilized, fixed the most critical bugs to make it, we can say that this is something stable where it's safe to use every day, at least on our side. It seems to keep at least being as stable as the core devices. The core devices to Canonical, which is now legacy, but they are on top there, and some of them are even better, I would say. But that's due to hardware, not software-wise. And also, we have been redefining the channel names, making them a lot more simple. Made the channel make sense for the end user, where we now, instead of having all the confusion where we have devil RC underscore proposal, devil underscore RC proposal, RC stable, devil, and all those channels, now we only have straightforward 3 channels under a version name. So we have like 1504, and then we have stable RC and stable under 1504. And the same goes for 1604. When that will be released, it will have devil, RC, and stable, where stable will get daily images directly from GitHub, which will probably break sometimes, and it's really unstable. But you get the freshest of the fresh. Then we have RC, which will update weekly or so, and will be the release candidate for stable. And with stable, we aim for little over once a month. That's what we're aiming for, but that can change. We can do it quicker or less, depending on how much updates we have.
Well, at least for now on 1504, that's at least once a month. That's the target. Of course, as soon as we move on to 1604 and with a new base and the legacy devices go really legacy, then we will focus our development on the core devices and mainly update 16.04. But for now, you can probably expect updates about once a month on stable.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also fixed some long-standing bugs in this release, right? We have MTP connection on the OnePlus One. We have GPS on the Nexus 5. Outgoing calls on the OnePlus One. Some cool stuff.
Yeah.
As well as the experimental AGPS support.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, some people still reported problems with that. Actually, AGPS for me also reports that I'm in a city 150 kilometers away. But for most people, it works pretty fine. And as soon as the normal GPS kicks in, it of course corrects your location. But yeah, some cool stuff in the first OTA release. And also, if you're interested in testing something that's on the bleeding edge to refresh your phone, you can try out the latest beta of the UBports installer that we talked about 2 weeks ago. It is pretty stable now, but it's not enough for us to like an official release, but it should work now. And you can download it on GitHub. We'll put a link in the article, of course.
Yeah, and even if it's saying beta, it doesn't mean it's not stable. It's just that we want to be 100% sure that it's rock solid before we remove the beta tag.
All right, we do have a question in the live chat. When is this? I assume he means when is this moving on to stable?
I would say when it's got tested thoroughly and get squished most of the bugs. We can't expect every bug. That's impossible. But at least we are in a state where it tested on every device.
No, I think he's talking about the OTA update.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The OTA update will happen in 5 minutes from now.
So it's still building, or?
Better
Yes.
not be.
No, it's not still building. The command is waiting for me here, so I will press it when I feel like it.
Right, so those all moved into RC. Date. When did that happen? I forget.
About 12 hours ago, something like that.
Okay.
So
RC
12 hours of feature.
Yes, so those are already in RC if you're there.
We like to
it's
look
just
dangerous.
that it's going to have something in it. I'm sorry. I just talked way over you.
There was another question in the supergroup. When you are closing legacy, I think we have no date for that at the moment, right?
Well, we are not closing legacy. That's the whole point of having the legacy devices. We will try to keep it open for pull requests from the community. So if a community member steps up and wants to fix some annoying bug or some security issue, then yeah, it can still be published over our CI infrastructure. And but deprecating the devices completely.
There's no plan on
it's
that.
about the channel, not the device.
The channel.
Sorry.
The channel will be moved over to stable as soon as all devices have stable running. So then everyone that's on on the legacy channel will be automatically moved to stable.
Oh, okay,
So
but the people that flashed the legacy channel are now on RC, aren't they? So they won't get automatically moved to stable.
No, the legacy channel is not moved yet.
Okay. Weird.
Okay.
I think we are sometimes also a little bit confused, and it's not so easy because we really want to have something that makes sense in the end. And we also moved from something existing into this structure. So I think at the end everything will turn out that's very easy and understandable for all the users. At the moment, please forgive if some of these channel movements didn't make so much sense. Also, the version numbers are now bouncing a little bit. So if you move to a new channel, it can be that you start at release 1 or release something. Some people are asking about this, but I think don't be afraid. Everything is running smoothly. It's just that the numbers skips or moves even backwards. So yeah, that was also my experience, and it's okay.
Yes, indeed.
Okay,
So I guess we can take the sponsorship break now.
the
Forgot to do
updates
that at the
are
top.
the updates are happening right now, by the way. The only two that will be delayed is Hammerhead and Mako, Nexus
That's
5
the
and
Nexus 4 and Nexus 5, not respectively.
yeah. Okay, so Hammerhead, which is Nexus 5, will be released in about, I would say, 1 hour or so, because there's just one small bug that needs to be fixed before that will be pushed. And Nexus 4 still has some issues that will be probably be delayed for a little while.
And by the way, if we're talking about updates, also maybe I can get another slot later for the summary from this app developer meeting. And also, for example, to note that there are also now updates already being pushed either in our store or in the old Canonical store. So if there is a concurrency, normally it should not be like this, that the same update goes to both sides, because our developers should move to open store and push the apps there. But if you check now with the updates function, you still get only the updates from the Canonical side. So please also open up Open Store from time to time and look if you have updates for apps. And plus, we will try to find a way how maybe Open Store can announce, also with a local notification feature, that there are new updates available for the apps. Yeah. That's an idea. Cannot say if we will work out like this, but I think it could be. Yeah.
Excellent. So anyway, as I was saying, it's time for us to thank especially our patrons, because our Patreon has hit. I need the live number because I think it's changed. Has hit. Drum roll.
Bing.
$1,648 US a month. So
Wow, that's
it is truly amazing to us that
amazing. That is so amazing. It's mind blowing how fast this has been growing. It has gone from only porting to how it is right now. We have now 400 members in our Telegram group, and it's super amazing to see how fast everything grows.
And we've only been going for 2 months now, so
right.
Well,
it's
yeah, the whole
pretty
project.
amazing.
The whole project had gone for 2 years, but
Yeah, no, I mean with the new goal, and it's
What
it's
we're
just
doing now.
amazing. Yeah, it's just amazing the amount of support that came in.
Yeah,
thank you very much for everyone who supports us.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you to everyone who is proving that we are doing something worth doing. We'll try to make you proud. Otherwise, in sponsorship news, DigitalOcean has begun sponsoring UBports again. So we're using DigitalOcean for some of our hosting, except for the ARM server. That DigitalOcean doesn't offer that yet. But things like our Nextcloud instance and other things that we use to get our work done are all hosted on DigitalOcean now. So if you like them, you should, support them, because they support us, and we appreciate that.
Thank you, DigitalOcean.
Yeah, thank you. I also have to say it's such an amazing experience to use DigitalOcean, where you have the CLI tool and just type in, create a droplet, and then bam, you're live.
So people maybe should visit digitalocean.com someday. And I mean, we're making some advertisement now, but it's really just because we are glad that they are sponsoring us. And I think we really see that they're supporting us because they like the project and the cooperation is really going well.
Right, they didn't give us a sponsorship read or anything, so that's not what's happening here. This
is just
they
because
just support open source.
We are also
projects.
thankful for that, and we really appreciate that we have the possibility to do it with their services.
Okay, so moving on from here, if you've been watching our UBports-touch bug tracker on GitHub, you might have noticed that we're starting to get milestones up. So if you want to see where we're going and what we're working on now, what's blocking the 1604 release, which is still filling up, by the way. There are more things filling into there. That would be the place to go. So you'll go on to the UBports-touch bug tracker, and then click on milestones, and you'll see everything that we want to do before our next release, when releases are targeted to come out, and it's all there. So does anyone have anything else to say on that?
No.
Okay.
Not as then we reduced the bugs from nearly 100 to 60, something like 66 or something like.
No.
Yes, a lot of
73,
bugs
right?
were closed in the
Yeah.
past 2 weeks.
It hasn't been snappy. I've been working probably way too much, but yeah.
Okay. Up next, we do have a bit of news about Holium.
And I have to say, Holium is getting pretty awesome. Not that it was awesome before, but it's getting even more awesome now. Where we now have Plasma working, Ubuntu Touch working on the same hull. They're using the same base, and it's such amazing to just see where we can just slap on Holium and then slap something else on top, and it just works. And that's such an amazing experience to just feel that on as same as you do on desktop, to feel that on mobile phones too. And not only that, Plasma now got support for the Fairphone 2, also because of Holium and our work on the Fairphone 2. So now we are getting ready to maybe start the channel up and getting all that running so people can actually try this out, even though it will be really bleeding edge and probably not
Won't
usable.
work very well. Yeah.
No, but it's at least something people can hack on and try out and at least see the progress of it, because progress will happen quite rapidly after we get everything set up.
Right. It is amazing to see what can happen when two traditionally competing projects can come together and make something that furthers both of their goals.
Yes.
And we've been seeing this a lot in the open source community lately, and it's really neat to see.
Yeah.
So, thank you to everyone who is collaborating on the Holium project. So that includes Plasma Mobile and a lot of others whose names escape me right now.
Yeah, we have Luna OS, Astro OS, and then we have some from the Selfish community, and hopefully we get Selfish itself on board. To get Selfish working on it and get all the others working on it will be super awesome. But for now, have been Plasma and Ubuntu Touch that have been pushing it in hardest.
Okay. Up next, we have a small update from our marketing team, because they've been doing a lot of work in the past couple of weeks. They've been building up their team and also building up software services so that they can get the word of our project out to other people, get more developers, more users, because those are always good. You're going to notice in the next couple of weeks that they're going to start becoming a little bit more active, both on the mailing list that we have, which you should definitely sign up for if you aren't a member of yet. That's at bit.ly/ubports. There was an announcement that went out about this Q&A. So if you missed that, then you better sign up. You're also going to see more blog posts coming from them on the blog, on our social media, on the forums. We're going to have guest blog posts both by community developers, app developers, and other people in the community who we think are pretty darn neat. So if you are looking to become a part of the marketing team, maybe you have a marketing background and you want to help support the project, you should contact Joed at ubports.com. That's JOED. Or we have a marketing sign-up form that we will put in the video description. I think I covered that one. So our marketing team is really doing great work, and we thank you all for being around, because a lot of what's come out in the last couple of weeks would have never happened without you.
Yeah, we now have 380 subscribers on the mailing list. That's just really cool to see.
Yeah. And this is all stuff that we developers and just don't get on with very well. So we thank them for being here with us. Okay. Now, the last thing that we have on our news for listing for this week is the OS and app developer meeting that happened about a week ago. So, Flo, would you like to take that?
Yes, I can. I'm just closed my page. Instead of making a new tab, I use the one for the Nextcloud, but I'm ready in a second. So, there was a meeting with in the beginning it was sent to 20 people, but it was then around 10 to 15 people, I think. Fortunately, there were people that developed apps already for Canonical with a great insight and great ideas how we can go, or to which direction we should move. So that was the first question that was really on everybody's mind, it seems. Are we using snaps? This is a big thing of if you like or dislike snaps. We couldn't really decide 100% if this will be the way to go, but the valid argument is if the infrastructure in 1604 is existing, and if this snap daemon works as it should, then snaps is a format that we should try on working with. However, it's not 100% decided or not 100% clear if this will be the future for everything that we do with the apps. So I think the Click apps will stay for a while still. Even if Jan said that the development is sometimes a pain, maybe also because of packaging and so, but we will still pursue the road of getting to a better container format. Probably it will be snaps because the infrastructure is there. We don't need to make something new, but let's see how it goes. Yeah.
And we do realize that we need to add a few things to upstream, things like Ubuntu Touch's Content Hub.
Yes. So what we find out is actually that even for snaps, that they are not 100% ready for Ubuntu Touch or for our infrastructure, because the snap needs access still to some features or to some resources that it can exchange data with other snaps or with other applications. And notably, this is Content Hub. This is more or less the clipboard, let's say, that allows you to transfer pictures between apps, to share contacts and this stuff. Yeah. And also the notifications need to come into the snap. So we cannot take it as it is. We have to modify it. So let's see how we go there. The thing is, if we come to 1604, then unfortunately, the Click apps will not be able to install, the old 1504 Click apps will not be able to install without breaking something on 1604. So this is not the best message maybe for the developers, but it could be that we have to compile the Click apps in 2 versions. For the core apps, probably we can do this easily. For the other apps, the developer should decide if we will support both flavors or both versions of the operating system. It's not so hard to compile it for 2 of them. You need just 2 build environments, the old one and the new one. So I think it's doable. But we just have to note here that the disadvantage of the Click apps is they are not operating system independent, as we hope that the snaps could be. Yeah. There were some discussions then for some small things like for the content hub. We will hopefully add some MIME type support there, some file picker. This is some improvement that we can do. The confinement was also discussed. So currently the problem is that we have a very strict confinement for the Click apps. We want to enable, for example, access to the SD card, because currently the SD card is not used really by anything in a meaningful way, let's say. And so we will have similar rules for accessing the SD card for the apps, so that at least you can store something there. Notably for the camera and for music, maybe that really has a bigger amount of data and you're running out of storage space on your phone, then you should be able to use the SD card somehow seamlessly. I talked already about the notifications, and this we will see how it works out, but I think at least for these local notifications, the solution will be fine with this account poll daemon. And we will see, you will also have the possibility to allow or deny notifications for each of the applications, as it is now more or less already in the setup. Yeah. We will see if this has an impact on the battery life, because everybody is warning us that one of the things is if this is not done in the right way, then this background activity will cost a lot of battery, but we are hoping not to really make it to really have a big impact on this. Yeah. So now comes the big part of the Qt. So I'm not an expert on this, but the question was, what about the real core libraries for the user interface, namely for Qt and for other stuff, where we should go there? The ultimate goal would be to upgrade Qt to 5.9. But the problem is this is currently really a huge step, and it doesn't seem to be possible at the moment easily. So we agreed more or less also between the guys from Unit that we should aim currently for 5.7. Yeah. We will still discuss this a little bit, but at least there was some movement and some activity that we're looking into this, how we can get 5.7 Qt into 1604 at least. If it's possible to backport to 1504, I don't know, maybe not.
And now we've learned that KDE for KDE Neon has packaged Qt 5.9 into Ubuntu, so that's also a possibility. It's all still kind of being worked on in that specific department with Unit. And we do thank him for dealing with us. So thanks, John.
Yeah. We will remove U1DB. This is something that maybe nobody knows really what it is, but it's a kind of database for the apps to store configurations and other data. There is not so much usage in the normal apps that were made by developers, by external developers. It's in the core apps. Yeah, what else? Ubuntu messaging framework. The idea was that we have one messaging app that hosts different protocols, like the normal message service of the provider, let's say IRC, maybe also Telegram and so on. It seems that currently we are rather going with single apps for each of the services and protocols. Yes, what else we have here? Unit and UBports will probably have a few more meetings about details. Also about these Qt changes, splitting dash and unit. What was this? Dash and unit T maybe?
Splitting the dash, the home screen type thing from the whole shell. So.
Okay, yeah. The thing with the scopes, we also get a lot of questions about scopes. Now, also people are missing scopes in our images. Some of them can be still found. You can only store. People were a little bit, let's say, irritated that this was suddenly changing in the images. So the thing is that the current scopes, for various reasons, should be reworked or, let's say, substituted by something better. The idea is now that there will be a single today, like the current today scope, a single place where this apps can hook into still and can display information. But it will be a little bit of a different concept, mostly also because of performance and memory consumption and other things that these scopes are not really optimized. Yeah, if you have any ideas for that in the forum, also there are discussions about this ongoing. Please join us for the future of the scopes or for the reworking form and in function. There is an interesting one that unfortunately got a little bit too short attention on the meeting. The dialer had already voice over IP support. We should continue this. Yeah, this would be a great feature. Some people were asking about this. Maybe we find someone who is interested in maintaining or implementing the existing probably pieces that are already in Launchpad or so and transfer this to the dialer app so that we can make an update. So again, call for action to maintainers or people that are interested to help out with that. Yeah, as we said in the beginning, some of them are already taken. Just go over to our GitHub page, search for everything that is -app, and then you see the list of core apps that we have now, and flip through it and to see if you get interested. Yeah, there is something. Oh, I forgot something. That's very interesting also. Sorry, I take another 2 minutes, if it's okay.
Okay.
It's a very app-centric meeting today. Andrew Hazen has actually worked on printing for the phone. So that means it's more or less almost finished, as I saw. There are a few repositories already in our GitHub now that deal with printing. So the idea is, and what's currently already working, you can print a PDF document to any network printer from the phone or from the tablet. We will try to get this in the images, of course. No ETA at the moment, so now I got you thrilled, but please be patient. But actually, I talked with other people. We would have a quite unique selling proposition with a phone or a tablet that can seamlessly print via cups as a normal Linux desktop. So I don't know if this is possible on Android or on iOS that easily, but if it works, then it will be a great thing.
I know that it works on iOS, but it's a huge pain. It only works with certain printers, so it's a great feature.
Yeah, so we will support hopefully all the cups printers that are possible, and let's say that would be the first new core app that we got. At least it's a core app idea. There is no roadmap, of course, but the things that I saw, they look very promising. We just need to find a way how to get this merged into a testing image, let's say. So we keep you updated. Good, that's the detailed app part. Now I'm silent for the rest of the meeting.
That is the OS and app developer meeting.
Yes.
Okay. Next we have Mario Grip showing something cool, and that is all he would tell us.
Yes. This is a feature that our killer feature. And this is running on the Nexus 5. So I will just turn my monitor a bit, and we see a second monitor and a Nexus 5. And this is going to blow your mind if you haven't seen this before. This is a Nexus 5 running and a HDMI slim port adapter. When you plug it in, just wait a second, and that turns into that, and bam, you have a full on desktop. It's connected to a Bluetooth mouse and a Bluetooth keyboard I have down here. I will turn on the mouse and I will connect to it automatically. And Unity 8 just crashed. That's that's
as long as it does it live, it's fine.
Yeah. I should have connected the mouse first. It doesn't like the mouse being connected after, but it is no problem. Just fire back up and press the desktop mode, and bam, it's now a full-blown desktop. I don't know if you guys can see it really well.
No, your exposure is a little wrong, but
yeah, but you get the idea. You now have a full-blown desktop, just connected to a slim port adapter, and everything should work just fine. Here I started a camera app just to make sure that this is really is the camera. Now you can see yourself.
So if people want to check this out, what do they have to do?
They have to do is buy a slim port. The first thing is it's this little thing. It just goes from the standard micro.
But only on supported devices like the Nexus 5.
Like the Nexus 5. I would say the Nexus 5 is like Nexus 4 also has it, but the hardware is pretty low. So I would say that the Nexus 5 is the best one you can get right at the moment. But we are working on getting one killer device that will have this feature. It will be as spot on as we can make it. And I would say it's a really enjoyment to use this. And even though there is some hiccups here and there, like you just saw, Unity had just crashed. When we get those fixed and get it working smoothly, I would say this is definitely something really cool. I don't know if everyone have seen this, but if you haven't seen it, get a cheap Nexus 5 and try it out.
It also works on the M10 tablets, by the way. They have a dedicated micro HDMI out port, so you can just connect the micro HDMI out adapter to a monitor and use it as well.
That's true, yeah.
I like what I see. That is neat. Except for
That
the
is
crashing
neat, yeah.
part, but at least it wrote a crash log for you now.
Yeah, when you unplug it, it should go back to a normal phone, and there it went. If I turn off the mouse, it turns off the desktop mode and goes right back to trusty old phone mode. I had a keyboard connected, so I don't get the on-screen keyboard. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I actually hadn't seen that mode yet, so that was cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I said it's a bit buggy yet, but when we get around those bugs, but hey, that's what we are for, fixing the bugs.
Okay, I did already get a question before. I was shaking my head while Flo was talking. That was just fidgeting. I'm sorry. I wasn't saying no to what he was saying or anything. So now we can move on to the questions we've taken for the week. The first one, and one that we have seen a bit, what are we doing with the unit collaboration effort? So, as we said before, we are talking with them about the requirements that we have for Ubuntu Touch, while also keeping in mind they have of wanting to be distro agnostic and the goals that they're setting out for themselves, which a big complaint about Unity 8 was that it was Ubuntu only, unless you did some hacking. So I completely get where he's coming from there. Other than that, we are glad that he's around, because otherwise we would have to do all the work, and that's not fun. So he has gotten out a complete dependency diagram. So everything that the entire unit stack has been laid out so that you can look at it, see what it all depends on, and maintain any part of it if you want to help him out. So he's over at unit.io.
And I think he has it working now on Debian, right?
Yes, he has packages out for Debian Unstable. So if you're running SID, you can install Unit. It is SID,
Awesome.
right? Yes, it's SID. Okay. I have trouble keeping up with all these release names.
Yeah, just to add to that, it works on Ubuntu. It's not only Debian, by the way.
Yeah, sure, but it worked on Ubuntu before, so.
Yeah. You got me there.
Oh, crazy news! Unity works on Ubuntu.
Okay, continue, Dalton. Ignore Jan.
Okay. We've had some questions about of the past couple of weeks. Will we keep calling it Ubuntu? Are we allowed to do that? Is that okay? What are we going to change it to? At the moment, we don't have a very good answer because we are weighing. This is, a big deal for us. Trying to change the name of something after we've had it for such a long time. So we're weighing our options there until we have a better idea. Okay. So I think that answers that one for now. If anyone else has anything to add. Okay. Have we seen anything about the Nexus 7 2013 Wi-Fi, codename Flow? Do you have a test device in for that, or?
I haven't got one yet, but I might get a hold of one. But for now, I have no. Sorry. But
Okay.
last week, not last week, last 2 weeks ago, if someone wants to step up and it, sure. It shouldn't be that hard since Canonical has done the heavy lifting. You can even build it on 1, but we would like to have it on 5.1, as is what has been done with the Mako device by Andreas. He has done great work on that. But yeah, we still need some maintainer there, or else if I get a hold of one, I will do my best to get it up and running. But as we said, also it's the device is getting pretty old, and we don't know how long we want to support these devices, since we really want to move on to something powerful that really can show the power of Ubuntu Touch. Right now, for example, with the Nexus 5, it barely can run the converge mode. It is not like it is better than a cheap laptop. It is, I have to say that, but it's not how we wanted. But if we had like 8 GB of RAM and then had the new Snapdragon processors, that would be amazing.
Well, I think that was dropping a hint, but I'm not going to say anything.
That was exactly dropping a hint. Go figure what device that is.
That was actually a question that we've gotten directly before. So, I'm not seeing any more questions in live chat or anything. Is anyone else?
If I'm maybe allowed to piggyback on what Marius just said, it would be really nice to have the Nexus 7 working, but of course we need more powerful devices. But for now, it would be a cool way to show off what Ubuntu Touch can do on the tablet, because the desktop mode Marius just showed off already works on the tablet as well. So you can just use it on the tablet and like move windows around and stuff, and that's pretty awesome. And it would be nice to have more devices who are really capable of that. But yeah, that's just my opinion.
Right. That is kind of blocked until we have a maintainer or a test device. So.
Yeah. So if you want to maintain the Nexus 7, step up.
Okay, yes, sir.
So, step up, come on. First one gets a free GitHub background. Even.
A free GitHub account. Okay. Does anyone else have anything neat to show off for the week? The 2 weeks. And does anyone else see any questions in live chat, Telegram, IRC?
We have a question in the YouTube live chat about the switch to UBports script that Marius is working on.
Oh.
What's the status on that?
Well, the script was more of a proof of concept, I would say. It was most meant to just show how this was meant to be done, and the plan is to integrate it in MDT and also integrate it in the UBports installer. But the script is live it's on my account right now, and it's just a test script. It does work. It's really simple, but yeah, it does work. I probably won't get any more updates. It's just, as I said, proof of concept test script, but it works.
Okay. We have a question about Google Project Trouble. Just came in. That one. Project Trouble has been announced. I haven't seen any source on it yet, though.
I think 3 weeks ago or something.
Right. It was announced at I/O, but for one thing, it won't come out. Excuse me. It won't come out on anything but the newest devices, and also it is probably, almost definitely, going to be Bionic drivers. So the Bionic alternative that Android runs on. So it doesn't really suit our needs better than Holium does, unless we want to port an entire Linux distro to Bionic.
It could probably make porting Halium easier, though, right?
It could make porting Holium easier, so that'll be something to watch, but it's not out yet. Project Trouble. Have you been under a rock?
Trouble? Yeah, I actually have, yeah.
I also don't know what he's talking about.
No, it's can you explain it?
So, Project Trouble was announced by Google as a way to solve the Android update problem. So they're abstracting away the underlying hardware from Android porting.
Right, yeah,
building.
I know what it is now. I just didn't connect. I didn't know they had a name for it or code name or whatever. But yeah. But actually, yeah, that would help us to get a standard hull and get a more standardized hull instead of this monkey patch with MDT, not MDT. Well, it is MediaTek and Qualcomm and all those meshed together into to some kind of Frankenstein released on SideGMod. If you get something that's common and that everyone follows, sure, it will help us. But I don't know how deep it goes. Like, if it's only if it's for the whole Android stack, I don't know if that's usable for us. But if it's just the hull, that standardized the hull a bit more, which is perfect for us.
Well, we'll see. It's just been announced, and
apparently
it will take
only
a while
works on the Pixel so far.
It's live.
So, seeing as how we don't really have the funds for a Pixel, or the the community who would have a Pixel, we'll just have to see on that one. Okay. I think that is what we see. Yep, that's what I've got. Okay. Thank you, Flying Potato, for saying nice words about us. We do appreciate nice words.
I like your username.
High five. And I do like your username as well. That is a good username. Okay, so you can reach us. We are UBports on, IRC, #UBports, Telegram, t.me/UBports, and we have so many things now.
Follow us on everything.
Twitter, Patreon, patreon.com/UBports, twitter.com/UBports, Mastodon, though I don't know which instance we're on. I'm sorry.
.rocks, I think.
Okay, we've got. I'm already lost. We've got our community mailing list. I'll put all the links in the description. So if anyone wants to get a hold of us, we have a million ways now.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And also, a short thing is OpenStore is now over 100 apps, which is pretty cool. And that's why
100 apps.
Over 100 apps.
Oh.
The API was limited to to only 100 apps, so that's why some app got excluded. But now that's fixed. So that's a great way to remind us that we have over 100 apps.
Woohoo!
Yay!
We're doing. Oh, of course. Now the questions.
Yeah, now the
They're
questions start coming in. We have
Now they
what's the
start
first
pouring in.
feature? Oh, sorry.
Okay, we extend it a little bit, huh? Maybe we give a fair
Yeah,
chance that.
Yeah, we'll
there are
keep
some
going. We'll keep
questions.
going. It's fine. What about Anbox? So, yeah, it's actually been a topic of a lot of debate on the forums, and as long as it continues being maintained upstream, then it'll continue being okay, I suppose. It won't come
Yeah.
until 1604 in any case.
And it probably won't happen on the legacy devices. Sorry.
Which isn't 1604.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so we definitely want Nbox, but it's not the highest priority right now, and it's not a priority on 1504.
Right, we need to get everything working on our side first before we introduce new stuff, new big stuff like that. Even though I would love to have my snapshot, but I have to wait.
Okay, and a fun one. What's the first feature you will add to Ubuntu Touch? What features have we already added? I mean, we have a few enhancement proposals that are closed, don't we?
We have AGPS. We have
AGPS.
Well, the first big one I would add, when I say a really big one, that would probably be Anbox. But if you talk about all things to it, the settings and stuff like that, I don't know. Whatever we need will be new stuff. But the newest big stuff with like if 1604 is a new thing, then 1604 will be the next thing. But if you're talking about new stuff, new exciting stuff, that will probably be Anbox.
Yes. Okay. Of course, we opened the floodgates on Anbox now.
Yes.
From the looks of the live chat. Well,
there is no one stopping from making it work yourself.
The reason we need Anbox instead of just leaving Dalvik or Art in is because then it went our display server. We'd also have to build all the Java dependencies at compile time with Ubuntu or Android, and it just generally won't work very well.
Also, we don't want to be Android. We
Right.
want to be able to use some Android apps, but we don't want to be Android.
I think that to have some of the apps really working without any flaws, we need to test, and then you can give people this Nbox thingy. It will probably work for this and for that, but I think we should put a disclaimer here that it will never be the same like working on an Android device. Also, maybe not because of performance issues, because it's traversing a lot of layers in between. And so the experience might be not the same. It might be for some of the apps that you really, really cannot get for Ubuntu, might be a way to run, but even those apps might have something hidden inside that will break or not work on Ubuntu Touch. I think this is just speculation, but to make this Nbox really super compatible with every app, it will take a lot of efforts, and the question is who will take those efforts. For sure not us, at least in the beginning, because completely loaded with all the other stuff. And the Nbox team, maybe it grows. Maybe they can do this. But yeah, it's a kind of, we are not Nbox, so I think we will happily adapt whatever we can get, but we are not going to maintain this part.
And we're not Android, so. All right. I think that is all we have for today. I've
No,
already gone.
we have another question. Stop. Is there a way to get the Ubuntu UI toolkit on 17.04, or are you all using 16.04 for app dev? I don't think so, at least not right now. Flo talked a bit about the stuff we were thinking about in the app dev meeting. So we definitely want to increase compatibility and become more platform agnostic in the future. But for now, it works best on 16.04, and we don't have the resources to and make it work. So for now, you either have to build them yourself or you have to use 16.04. There's really no way around at the moment.
Use just an LXD container. It's pretty simple. We have some instruction on how to set up LXD and clickable
In the wiki, no less.
in the wiki.
We have gotten a lot of wiki contributions. Thank you to everyone who's has words are hard. Thank you to everyone who has contributed to the wiki over the past few weeks. I really appreciate that because I love documentation. Okay. Now can we end? Does anyone see anything else?
Let me just check the...
Will UBports ever come to closed source devices? No.
Well,
No.
Most of our devices are closed source, at least the hardware part.
The
Well,
entire device tree.
Oh,
If it's all
Yeah.
closed source, then
Sure. No.
if there's no open source device tree, we can't do it.
It's impossible, to be honest. Well, we could re-engineer it, but that would
We don't have time for that, Mark.
that would
There's-
probably take like
There's no phone that's completely reverse engineered, so no.
like trying to reverse engineering an iPhone, for example, would probably take us 5 years, and then that phone will probably be deprecated anyway.
Oh, we could port to the iPhone 3GS. I have one lying around.
Yeah, go
Goodness.
ahead. Go ahead.
I wish I
Jan.
had the button
Go
to
ahead.
take us offline at this point.
You don't.
Okay. Ooh,
Ooh.
clickable. Yep, that's all in the wiki, all about clickable. So
Yeah, I think we have been 5 minutes over our time. So yeah, I think we should end it now. We should keep this at 1 hour. We shouldn't. But yeah,
Okay. Thank you everyone for watching today. Went a bit off the tracks at one point. Got a few more questions late. But thank you to everyone who is asking. We appreciate that you're here live, and also to the people who are watching afterwards. Links will be in the video description to discuss with us, get a hold of us. I'm making a lot of noise, I'm sorry. So, that's what I've got.
okay.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Bye.
Thanks. Goodbye.